All right, what is up, everybody? GIBSON, go back guy to 31 plus DFS history. It is Monday, November 29th. We actually have a good showdown. Jeez, it's weird to say that. We got the football team hosting the Seahawks, 47 total, pick 'em, a lot of options and condensed options. So I think the only thing that stinks of the slate is you can't get all of those set options that you want, but you can get at least 4 of them in most of your builds. Looking forward to breaking this down. Just a quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment. Let's jump right into this. Let's get in and out of here. Less than 10 minutes. You can find 2-hour preview shows other places. FSI, we're all about trying to get you all the information you need to be successful, condensed format. So I think first off, let's just talk about quarterbacks. Wilson, Heineke, both elite plays. Neither team has good pass defense. If anything, slight lean towards Russell Wilson, not only because he's the superior player, but because Washington has an out that they can run the ball really well here with Antonio Gibson, to the point that maybe you consider fading Heineke. You could play Gibson and McLaurin and just let those two do the eating. And, if Heineke gets like 15, 17 DK, you can make that up. Versus Russ Wilson, Washington actually has a pretty good rushing defense. I think they're 10th DVOA. So Russ Wilson is more likely to explode. Also, there's a little bit of rushing upside as well. And let's just be real, it's fun to root for Russ Wilson. I think I'm not in the minority here that says I like Russ Wilson as a QB. I like to see him do well. So, hey, if Russ is gonna cook, let's watch him cook. And you can even see the rank. Washington's dead last versus the pass. So I think Russ Wilson, is the guy that you lock in. And then the question becomes, who are you going to pair him with in Seattle, right? Is it going to be Lockett or DK Metcalf? The fact that DK Metcalf is 1,400 less than Tyler Lockett, I think DK Metcalf is chalk. And honestly, it becomes a pretty interesting captain choice. He and Antonio Gibson, I expect to see a lot at captain in cash builds. The targets here between Lockett and Metcalf is almost the same. DK Metcalf, I was actually going to say DK Metcalf's more explosive. I think we think that, but think back to Kansas State and all the huge games Tyler Lockett had. He almost won me a GPP last year, and the $3, I think I got 9th out of 470,000 or something crazy like that, because he exploded versus the Cardinals. So both guys can have explosive games. Just that $1,400 difference between Lockett and Metcalf, it definitely makes me go towards Metcalf. 8, 6, 5, 7 targets. Let's go to Lockett, and I think we're going to be able to see about the same. Those two combined for over 50% of the targets for Seattle. So it's really nice. The fact 5, 8, there's 13 explosion, 3, 7. So really about the same. That also makes a really, really nice, easy 3-way stack there, right? Wilson, Lockett, Metcalf. You're going to see that a ton in GPPs, but in cash, I think you probably only play one. I expect it's Metcalf. The reason you only play one is because Terry McLaurin is the dominant number 1 for Washington, versus a really, really porous Seattle back secondary. This isn't the Legion of Boom anymore. This is somebody that you can definitely pick apart. And especially with Curtis Samuel back, I think the targets outside and Logan Thomas, I'm going to bring up, I think it's a really nice play. With all those guys back, I think the only person on the Washington football team that you can really feel good about targets is Terry McLaurin. So, if you want to play Russ, Lockett, and Metcalf together, you probably don't get to scary Terry. But if you fade one of them, then I think you're doing so to get to Terry McLaurin, who is truly an awesome play. Antonio Gibson, I have to highlight I got to watch him the whole game versus the Bucs, where he was, in my opinion, the numbers don't show everything. 24 for 64, but the 2 touchdowns, and he was critical in that final drive to put the Bucs away. Antonio Gibson is just a damn good player. Now, Seattle is really bad versus the run, so I think that Washington's going to try to exploit that and run to Antonio Gibson. We do know that Washington prefers to, establish the run versus just trying to air it out. So I think that Antonio Gibson is going to get fed pretty early and often. And I think at 8,600 just is a little too cheap for a home matchup here versus a defense that he can take after. But, I could totally see you going just air attacks on both sides and just hope for a shootout. That certainly is in play. Signature options McKissick at 7,200 revenge game, but I think 7,200 for a third down back is just way too expensive. Alex Collins plays a good run defense, thin. Both of those are GPP targets, but to me, in like optimal builds, you're avoiding. Gerald Everett 6,200. Yeah, he's getting like 3-4 targets, but 6,200 is just really, really tough. I'm starting to get interested down here. I think DJ Dallas is a contrarian GPP play. If you think Seattle gets down, so maybe you do like an Antonio Gibson captain or something like that with Seattle passing game. DJ Dallas is playing a lot of their third down work. 5,200 is a little expensive for the role, but I think he's interesting. Logan Thomas, I absolutely love here. Assuming that he's activated, assuming that we see no sort of playing time or snap restrictions. Seattle's getting drilled by the tight end position. I think they're like top 10 worst in the league versus it. So Logan Thomas at 4,800, we know when he plays, he just gets targets, right? 3, 7, and 4. And, he's a big red zone option and just a very, very effective player. So 4,800. And he really, I know Curtis Samuel will be listed as the number 2 wide receiver, but I think Logan Thomas in a lot of ways is like the de facto number 2 target for Heineke, if in. So 4,800 would be really nice. Defenses are out here. Kickers kick, that's my line, but they're certainly fine. I definitely don't mind them just to get built-in floor if you end here. John Bates only if Logan Thomas is ruled out. Freddie Swain, he's not playing much. Former Gator, go Gators, but no catches in the last 4 targets over the last 2 weeks. One of the punts I'm going to bring up, ESKRIDGE, let's just bring it up right now. I don't know, it's ESKRIDGE. Remember watching him. I'm a big college football guy. If you've watched my videos there, but ESKRIDGE was absolutely explosive. I believe it was Colorado last year. Might not be Colorado. I'm blanking on the team, but you can remember him breaking a few slates, 2nd-round picks. So Seattle has a lot of equity in this guy. He was actually played corner at some time. He's just an explosive athlete. He's getting some work. He didn't get any targets last week, but I think this is a really, really good YOLO GPP dart of 200, especially if the Seattle passing game takes off. So I like ESKRIDGE as a punt. Also, just from Washington, JARET Patterson is definitely starting to eat into the work. This is the only hesitation I have on Gibson captain type of lines at all because I love the matchup. But JARET Patterson now 7, 4, and 11 carries in the last 3 games. Dominant college football player back. Oh my God, blinking. I want to say it's Buffalo. Had the bowl game. I think he had like 7 or 8 touchdowns, 300-something yards. JARET Patterson was just an absolute baller in college. This could be a matchup we could see a breakout. He's probably one of my favorite just complete dart throws that I hope goes overlooked because that usage is real. He's not going to really catch balls out of the backfield, but in terms of $1,000, think of like an AJ Dillon type when Jones was there, a guy dart throw that could maybe snipe some short down or a goal line touch or 2. JARET Patterson would be your guy. So that's going to do it. I hope that helps. Would definitely say, my core right now would be Russ Wilson, DK Metcalf, and probably Terry McLaurin, but, really close to the guys like Gibson and wow, can't talk, and Heineke as well. And then, if mixing in Tyler Lockett and GPPs is like a double stack with Russ. Thank you all for watching. Hope this helps. If it does, like, comment, subscribe. With that, I'll say, see you.